Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triple Department, working in ISL Engineering College. Power Systems 2, I am taking this subject for Triple third year students. So already we have started the third unit in the previous classes. First unit was transmission line theory, second unit symmetrical faults, and third unit is unsymmetrical faults. And fourth unit of Power System 2 is voltage control, and fifth unit is traveling wave theory. In third unit, we have covered so far symmetrical components of unsymmetrical phasors, power in terms of symmetrical components, sequence impedance, and sequence networks. So in today's class, I will be telling about the sequence impedances of power system elements. Then we will be seeing the unsymmetrical faults of power systems and two more classes. Then I will finish the third unit. So first unit, we have seen the performance of short, medium, and long transmission lines, line calculations of tuned lines, power circle diagrams, and their applications. And we have seen very important concept called corona, its causes, and what is the critical disruptive voltage, what is the visual critical voltage, power loss and minimization of corona effects, and few numericals also we have seen on this critical disruptive voltage and visual critical voltage. Second unit, we have seen symmetrical faults, use of per unit quantities in power system. Okay, we have seen a new introduction of a topic that is per unit quantity, advantages of per unit systems, single line diagram, and few numericals also we have seen on this topic. Symmetrical three-phase faults. What is symmetrical fault? And what are the transients in RL series circuit? Reactance of synchronous machine symmetrical fault calculations we have seen. So let us do a quick revision of this unsymmetrical fault. So in symmetrical fault, we have seen that the fault can be either it can be a line to line to line, that is triple L fault, or triple L G fault. Okay. So whenever the symmetrical fault occurs, it gives rise to symmetrical fault currents, and those fault currents in the three lines will be equal in magnitude, and all these three are displaced from each other by an angle of 120 degrees. That was in case of symmetrical faults. The currents were balanced, and all three currents were displaced from each other by an angle of 120 degrees. Symmetrical faults are most severe faults, but analysis of symmetrical faults is easier compared to analysis of unsymmetrical faults because of their balanced nature. Because symmetrical faults are of balanced nature, and we are going to consider only one phase in calculation, and other two phases we can calculate automatically. The majority of faults which are occurring in a power system are of unsymmetrical in nature, and the most common is the short circuit from one line to ground fault. Uh, what are unsymmetrical faults? Unsymmetrical faults are the faults which give rise to unsymmetrical fault currents, that is, unequal fault currents in the lines with unequal phase displacement. So, in case of symmetrical, we have seen that fault currents were equal in magnitude, and they were displaced from each other by an angle of 120 degrees. But whereas in case of unsymmetrical fault, unsymmetrical fault currents will be having a unequal fault currents and also unequal phase displacement. Whenever unsymmetrical fault occurs, currents in the three lines will become unequal, and also phase displacement will also become unequal. Here, when we are telling unsymmetrical applies only to the currents, but not to the impedance and system voltages. The impedance and voltages are symmetrical, uh, that is through its elements, namely generators, transmission lines, synchronous reactors, etc. So when we say here unsymmetrical applies only to the current and not to the impedances and source voltages. So there are three ways in which unsymmetrical faults can occur in a power system. Single line to ground fault, that is LG, line to line LL, and double line to ground fault, that is double LG. First figure is showing line to ground fault. Here three lines are there, R, Y, B. So this line to ground fault can occur on any line and between any line and ground. Okay, it can be R and ground, Y and ground, and B and ground. Second is line to line fault. So in this figure we have we seeing between Y and B. It can be between RY or YB also. Third is double line to ground fault, that is fault occurring between two lines and ground. Here in this case we have seen between YB and ground. It can occur between RY ground or RB ground. The solution of unsymmetrical faults can be obtained by either Kirchhoff's laws or symmetrical components method. But we are preferring symmetrical components method because of two reasons. That is, first one is it will be a simple method and gives more generality to the given fault performance studies, and second is that it will provide a useful tool for the protection engineers, particularly in connection with tracing out of fault currents. So out of two methods, that is Kirchhoff's laws and symmetrical components method, we are preferring symmetrical components method. Now let us see symmetrical components method. In this method, unbalanced system of three-phase currents is regarded as being composed of three separate set of balanced vectors, that is positive phase sequence components, negative phase sequence components, and zero phase sequence components. So what we are telling here is that the three-phase currents are divided into three separate sets of balanced phasors. That is, it can be a positive phase sequence component, second is negative phase sequence component, third is zero phase sequence component. What is positive phase sequence components? A balanced system of three phase currents which is having positive phase sequence or normal phase sequence is called as positive phase sequence component. And negative will be what? A balanced system of three phase currents having opposite or negative phase sequence is called as negative phase sequence components. Next, what is zero phase sequence components? A system of three currents equal in magnitude and having zero phase displacement are called as zero phase sequence components. These components, that is positive, negative and zero phase sequence components, are called as symmetrical components of original unbalanced system. Now these subscripts 1, 2 and 0 are used to indicate the positive, negative and zero phase sequence components respectively. So when we are putting a subscript 1 for any current or voltage, then it is referring to positive phase sequence component. 2 for negative phase sequence component. 0 for zero phase sequence components. IR0 is indicating zero phase sequence component of current in red phase. IY1 is representing the positive phase sequence component of current in yellow phase. Let us see the illustration. We will apply the symmetrical components theory to an unbalanced three-phase system. Suppose that unsymmetrical fault occurs on a three-phase system having phase sequence RYB. Now, according to the symmetrical components method, resulting unbalanced current IR, IY and IB can be resolved into three types. That is, first one is balanced system of three-phase currents, that is IR1, IY1 and IB1, having positive phase sequence, that is RYB. As we can see it in the first figure, the phase sequence is RYB and all these three currents are displaced from each other by an angle of 120 degrees. And these are positive phase sequence components. Next is balanced system of three-phase currents IR2, IY2 and IB2 having negative phase sequence, that is RBY. You can see in the figure, first figure was having sequence of RYB, second figure is having the sequence of RBY. So balanced system of three-phase currents IR2, IY2, IB2 having negative phase sequence RBY, and these are negative phase sequence components. Then third figure is showing system of three currents IR0, IY0, IB0 equal in magnitude with zero phase displacement from each other. As we can see it in the figure. Between IR0, IY0 and IB0, there is zero phase displacement. So current in any phase is equal to the vector sum of positive, negative and zero phase sequence currents in that phase. As we can see it in the figure. We can see here that the total current will be equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR0. IY is equal to IY1 plus IY2 plus IY0 and IB is IB1 plus IB2 plus IB0. Now we will see operator A. Operator A is one which when multiplied to a vector will rotate the vector through an angle of 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. Because the symmetrical component theory involves concept of 120 degrees phase displacement in positive sequence set and negative sequence set, therefore some operator we are evolving which will cause 120 degrees rotation. So for this purpose operator A is used. So symbol instead of A we can use H or lambda also. So operator A is one which when multiplied to a vector will rotate the vector through an angle of 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. So let us consider a vector I which is represented by OA. Vector I is represented by OA, and if this vector is multiplied by operator A, vector will be rotated through 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, and the position we are assuming is is OB. So we are assuming here that OA is a line represented by vector I, and if this vector is multiplied by operator A, vector will be rotated through 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, and which is represented as OB. Now its value is becoming A into I. Now similarly OC will be equal to A square into I, because again it is moving from OB to OC, and displacement will be 120 degrees from B to C in anti-clockwise direction, and the magnitude of OC will be A square into I. AI will be equal to I into angle 120 degrees or I into cos 120 plus j sin 120. So cos 120 will be minus 0.5 and sin 120 is 0.866. So A will be equal to minus 0.5 plus j 0.866. So if the vector we are assuming position OB is multiplied by operator A and vector is further rotated through 120 degrees in anti-clockwise. So when then that position is OC, as we have seen it in the figure. That is now OC. That is when OB is multiplied by operator A and further it is rotated through 120 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. Now A square I is equal to I into 240 degrees. 120 plus 120 is becoming now 240 degrees, and earlier it was 120 only, because it was moving from 0 to 120. Now from 120 to again 120, that is 120 plus 120 240. So A square I will become equal to I angle 240 degrees. This can be written as cos 240 plus j sin 240. Cos 240 value is minus 0.5. Sin 240 is minus 0.866. Now A square will be equal to I gets cancelled. A square is minus 0.5 minus j 0.866. So operator A square will turn the vector through 240 degrees in anti-clockwise direction, and this is same as turning the vector through 120 degrees in clockwise direction. So 240 degrees anti-clockwise will be equal to 120 degrees clockwise direction. Now A square I is equal to I angle minus 120 or A cube I equal to I angle 360 degrees. 240 minus 120, it will become 360 degrees. So this can be written as cos 360 plus j sin 360 degrees. That is uh, a cube will be equal to 1 because cos 360 plus j sin 360 is 1. So I will get cancelled. A cube is 1. Now let us see the properties of operator A. When we add these expressions, A is equal to minus 0.5 plus j 0.866 and A square is minus 0.5 minus j 0.866, we will get A plus A square as minus 1. So, first property of operator A is 1 plus A square is 0. And second property is A minus A square is j root 3, because we are subtracting these two expressions. So, we are adding these two expressions, that is A equal to and A square equal to expressions we are adding. Then we will get 1 plus A square is 0. And when we are subtracting, we are going to get it as A minus A square is j root 3. These are the two properties of operator A. Symmetrical components in terms of phase currents can be expressed in terms of symmetrical components, namely IR is equal to IY equal to IB equal to IR will be equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR0. Here all these are vectors. We can see here a arrow put on this currents. These are the vectors. So IR will be equal to vector addition of IR1, IR2, IR0. Similarly, IY and IB will be vector addition of IY1, IY2, IY0, IB1, IB2 and IB0. So in this figure we can see the vector representation of symmetrical components. So we can express the symmetrical components in terms of unbalanced phase currents. So in terms of R phase, we can write this current as IR, IY and IB. So what we are doing, we are expressing all the symmetrical components of Y and B phases in terms of symmetrical components of R phase by means of operator A. So if it is R phase, converting Y and B also in terms of R phase with the help of operator A. If it is Y phase, converting R and B in terms of in terms of Y. If it is B phase, converting R and Y in terms of B. So IR1, which is in this diagram we can see here, we are expressing that as IR, we are expressing as IR1 plus IR2 plus IR0. IY is expressed as Y1 plus Y2 plus Y0. So IY1 can be written as A square IR1, Y2 can be written as A IR2, and Y0 can be written as R0. So positive phase current in Y phase is 240 degrees ahead of IR1. So IY1 we can write it as A square IR1, and IR2 IY0 can be written, IY2 can be written as A into IR2, and IY0 can be written as IR0. Similarly, IB can be written as IB1 plus IB2 plus IB0. Here IB1 is A IR1, IB2 is A square IR2, and IB0 is IR0. So representing Y and B terms in terms of R with the help of operator A. So zero sequence currents, what we are doing, we are adding all these three expressions 1, 2 and 3, that is IR plus IY plus IB. So we are going to get the zero sequence current here. So it is equal to IR0 is 1 by 3 IR plus IY plus IB. So red phase is taken as reference. So subscript R is usually omitted. So we can remove the subscript R and it can be applied to Y and B also. So I not equal to 1 by 3 IR plus IY plus IB. Next is positive sequence current. Multiply expression 2 by a and expression 3 by a square and adding. So we are going to get IR1 as 1 by 3 IR plus a IY plus a square IB, or removing the subscript R, we are going to get the positive phase current I1 as 1 by 3 IR plus a IY plus a square IB. Now negative phase sequence current, multiplying expression 2 by a square, expression 3 by a and adding to 1. So I2 will become equal to 1 by 3 into IR plus a square IY plus AIB. So we have to note down 2 points here. First point is current I1, I2 and I0 are symmetrical components of R phase. And although this treatment has been made considering currents, method implies equality to voltages also. So along with currents, we can find out the values of voltages also. So symmetrical voltage components of R phase in terms of phase voltages can be E0, E1 and E2, as E0 is 1 by 3 ER plus EY plus EB. E1 is 1 by 3 into ER plus AEY plus A square EB. So same whatever currents were there, similarly we are writing the values of the voltages. So sequence currents uh, is having some certain properties. Like first one is balanced three-phase system will consist of positive sequence components only, and negative and zero components will be zero. Second is that presence of negative or zero component currents in three-phase system introduces unsymmetry, and it is indicative of abnormal condition of the circuit in which these components are formed. So what we are telling here, balanced system will consist of only positive sequence components. Negative and zero sequence components will be zero. Whenever zero or negative sequence components are present, it will introduce unsymmetry in the system. And vector sum of positive and negative sequence currents of unbalanced three-phase system will be 0. That is equal to IR0 plus IY0 plus IB0. In three-phase 4-wire unbalanced system, magnitude of zero sequence component will be 1/3 of current in neutral wire. That is, zero sequence current is equal to 1/3 of current in neutral wire. And in a three-phase balanced system, magnitude of negative sequence components cannot exceed that of positive sequence component. Because if we take that the negative sequence component is more than or greater than positive sequence component, then the system will be reversed. The current which we are drawing from single phase load will be comprising of positive, negative and zero sequence components. All these three will be present in a current of a single phase load drawn from the three phase system. We have seen some numericals also, very easy. First one we have to prove that 1 minus a square by a minus a square is a, and second is 1 minus a by 1 plus a square is 1 minus a square. Simple operator A properties we are applying here. That is, first property is 1 plus a square is 0. 1 minus a square can be written as this is a form of a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b. That is 1 plus a into 1 minus a by a, if you take common here, 1 minus a. Remaining will be 1 plus a by a. That is 1 plus a can be written from the property of a operator A as minus a square. So minus a square by a is becoming minus a. Next is 1 minus, second one is we have to prove 1 minus a by a, 1 plus a square is 1 minus a square. So denominator is 1 plus a square is minus a here. So dividing the numerator and denominator by minus a square. So this will become minus a square plus a cube by a cube, and that will become equal to a cube is 1 and a cube minus a square will be equal to 1 minus a square. Next numerical, a three-phase 4-wire system having currents in R, Y and B lines under abnormal conditions of load R. IR is 100 angle 30 degrees ampere, and IY is 50 angle 300 degree ampere, IB is 30 angle 180 degree ampere. Calculate positive, negative and zero sequence currents in R line and return current in neutral wire. Let us consider I0, I1 and I2 to be the zero, positive and negative sequence currents. So I0 equation is equal to 1 by 3 IR plus IY plus IB. Now IR value is given as 100 angle 30. Substitute here. IY is 50 angle 300. IB is 30 angle 180. Convert this polar to rectangular form. Addition and subtraction should be done in rectangular form, and multiplication division should be done in polar form. So directly by using calculator, you can convert the polar to rectangular and add this. So we will get the value as 27.2 plus J 2.26. We can convert this rectangular to polar again, or just keep it as it is. So when we are converting into polar, value is 27.29 angle 4.68 degree ampere. Similarly, calculate I1 and I2. All values we know, but here the only difference is that A value is 1 angle 120 degrees, A square value is 1 angle minus 120 degrees. So substitute these A and A square values in the equations, find out the values of I1 and I2. Then addition of all these three currents, IR plus IY plus IB, is the current in the neutral wire. Current, next numerical, currents in three-phase unbalanced system are IR and IY, IB values are given. We have to calculate zero, positive and negative sequence components of currents. IR0 is 1/3 of IR plus IY plus IB. So here values are given in rectangular form directly. So add them and write the answer in rectangular form. Then calculate similarly IR1 and IR2. You can convert it into polar form also. Now yellow phase. Yellow phase also calculate the values. IY0, IY1 and IY2. IY0 will be IR0, IY1 is A square IR1, IY2 is A into IR2. A value will be 1 angle 120 degrees, A square value will be 1 angle minus 240 degrees. Convert that into rectangular. Similarly for blue phase, B phase, IB0 is IY0 is IR0, IB1 is A square IR1 and IB2 is A square IR2. Substitute the values and find out the answer in rectangular form. Sequence voltages in red phase are as under ER0, ER1 and ER2. Find the phase voltages ER, EY and EB. So ER will be equal to addition of ER0, ER1 and ER2. 100 plus 200, all this addition, add them, convert it into polar form. Similarly, find out EY and EB. Zero and positive sequence components of red phase are ER0 and ER1 and ER is given. We have to find out negative sequence component of red phase and phase voltages EY and EB. So we know the equation for ER. ER is ER0 plus ER1 plus ER2. So we are finding out ER2 from this equation, and ER0 will be equal to 0.5 minus J 0.866. EY equal to ER0 plus A square ER1 plus AER2 and EB similarly. Okay, we have to calculate, substitute and calculate. If it is in the rectangular form, directly you can do the addition. If not, convert polar to rectangular, do the addition, find out the answer both in rectangular and polar forms. So these are similar numericals which you have already seen previous classes. So students, you practice the numericals from the textbook. All are the two textbooks, that is Electrical Power Systems by C.L. Vadhwa and Principles of Power Systems by V.K. Mehta. So all these are similar problems which you can do it. Already I have said in the previous classes, these numericals. You can refer that previous video. So let us see what is sequence impedance. Then we will see the sequence impedance of power system elements. So what is the meaning of impedance? Impedance is nothing but it is same like resistance. That is, every power system element will offer impedance to the components of current, and these components, phase sequence components of currents can be same or it cannot be same. Okay, if impedance the impedance which any piece of equipment offers to positive sequence current will not necessarily be the same impedance which is offered to the negative sequence current or zero sequence current, because we know that this is not a balanced system, this is an unbalanced system. So the impedance which is given to the positive sequence current is not same as the impedance offered to the negative or zero sequence current. So unsymmetrical fault calculations, in this each piece of equipment will have three values of impedance, one corresponding to each sequence current. Okay, so impedance for positive is different, impedance for negative sequence is different, and impedance for zero sequence is different. So three impedances we are going to calculate in unsymmetrical fault calculations. So each piece of equipment will have three values, namely positive sequence impedance, negative sequence impedance, and zero sequence impedance. Positive sequence impedance is denoted by Z1, negative sequence impedance is denoted by Z2, zero sequence impedance is denoted by Z0 or Z0. Impedance which is offered by an equipment or circuit to positive sequence current is called as positive sequence impedance and is represented by Z1. Impedance which is offered by circuit or equipment to negative and zero sequence current is called as negative sequence impedance and zero sequence impedance, and they are represented by Z2 and Z0 respectively. So a few points we have to note down here. First one is, in a three-phase balance system, each piece of equipment or circuit will offer only one impedance, the one offered to positive or normal sequence current. So in three-phase balance system, we have seen that only one impedance was there, no positive, negative, and zero sequence impedances. Only one was there because it was a balanced system, and there was absence of negative and zero sequence currents in the balanced system. So in three-phase unbalanced system, each piece of equipment or circuit will have three values, that is positive sequence impedance, negative and zero sequence impedance. Positive and negative sequence impedances of linear, symmetrical and static circuits are equal and same as which are used in the analysis of balance conditions. So positive and negative will be same or equal when we are analyzing balance condition, because impedance of such circuits will be independent of phase order provided applied voltages are balanced. Whereas positive and negative sequence impedance of rotating machines are normally different. So zero sequence impedance will depend upon the path which is taken by the zero sequence current, and this path is different from the path taken by the positive and negative sequence current. So zero sequence impedance is usually different from positive or negative sequence impedance. So why we are going for this sequence impedances of power system elements? Because this concept of impedances of various elements of power system, that is generators, transformers, transmission lines, etc. We are applying this concept of impedances to positive, negative and zero sequence currents in determining the fault currents of a three-phase unbalanced system. So there are three main equipment which we are considering to determine the sequence impedance of power system elements. First one is synchronous generators, second is transformers, third is transmission lines. Let us see for synchronous generators. Positive, negative and zero sequence impedances of rotating machines are generally different. Positive sequence impedance of the synchronous generator is equal to synchronous impedance of the machine, and negative impedance will be much less than the positive sequence impedance. And zero sequence impedance is a variable item, and if this value is not given, it is assumed to be equal to positive sequence impedance. So in case of synchronous generators, we are assuming that positive sequence impedance will be equal to the synchronous impedance of the machine, and negative sequence will be less than the positive sequence impedance. And if the zero sequence impedance is variable and if its value is not given, then we are assuming it as equal to positive sequence impedance. So in short, we can write this as in the form of equation: negative sequence impedance is less than positive sequence impedance, and zero sequence impedance is variable item and it can be taken equal to positive sequence impedance if its value is not given. Now there is a term called as ZE, that is the ZE is the impedance of earth. So whenever any impedance ZE in earth connection of star connected system has effect to introduce the impedance of 3 ZE per phase, because 3 phases are there, so now impedance is also 3 ZE. Because 3 equals 0 sequence currents which are in phase will not sum to 0 at star point, but they will flow back along the neutral earth connection. Second one is transformers. Transformers have the same impedance with reverse phase rotation. Positive and negative sequence impedance will be equal, and this value is equal to the impedance of the transformer. So whether it is RYB or RBY phase, transformers will have the same impedance with their positive and negative sequence impedances. However, zero sequence impedance will depend upon the earth connection. If there is a circuit for earth current, and zero sequence impedance will be equal to positive sequence impedance, otherwise it will be equal to infinity. So in short, we can write this as positive sequence impedance is equal to negative sequence impedance, and that is equal to impedance of transformer. Zero sequence impedance for earth current will be equal to positive sequence impedance if there is a circuit current, and that is equal to infinite if there is no circuit for earth current. Third is transmission lines. Positive sequence and negative sequence impedance of a line are same, and this value will be equal to normal impedance of the line, and phase rotation of currents will not make any difference in the constants of the line. However, zero sequence impedance will be usually much greater than the positive or negative sequence impedance. So in terms of equation, we can write this as positive sequence impedance is equal to negative sequence impedance, and that is equal to impedance of line, and zero sequence impedance is variable item, and that can be taken as 3 times positive sequence impedance if its value is not given. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope today's class is clear to everyone. Students should give the attendance in the comment section. Thank you everyone.